I have a hard time when my husband blatantly looks at attractive women when we're together, like physically turning his head.
Well, that's just annoying. How old is your husband?
60.
60. Ooh, he may be on the other side. You know what I mean? Yeah, that makes him a creepy old man. This isn't a word, but you can pornographize anything. What up? What up? This is John with the Dr. John Delony Show. Taking your calls from all over planet Earth about your mental and emotional health and your families and your marriages, whatever you got going on. Love getting to talk to you all and meet you out on the road. It's awesome. Thank you for being with us. And Kelly, looks like today was maybe shower day. You look nice today.
I love how you could make a compliment just into the most like
I know, but
heinous dick.
this is like you did shirt, like nice shirt and hair today.
I have on a t-shirt and my hair looks the same every day. I just have on a headband today.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Yeah, my little lemony headband.
It's Sporty
which is
Spice,
giving me
Kelly.
a ginormous headache right now.
But hey, it's the pains of beauty.
But it looks good. That's really all that matters.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, it's
thank you.
It's delightful to see you out of the corner of my eye.
That's a sentence you've never uttered ever in all the years we've known each other.
Well,
there we go.
It's the first time I've seen
People mark it down.
Headband, lipstick, and nice shirt. It's a big day for us. Let's go up to Wichita and talk to Don't Call Me Shirley. Shirley, what's up, Shirley?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Great. Hey, my question or my concern is I have a hard time when my husband blatantly looks at attractive women when we're together, like physically turning his head.
Well, that's just annoying.
Right? I have talked to him about this and said, hey, you need to be better. I get it that there are going to be other attractive people in the world, but it feels disrespectful to me.
Yeah. I was talking to some middle school boys the other day, and everybody's out at the park playing, and a couple of like college girls walked by, and they all just like comically, without even meaning to, all turn their heads like in this. It was like an old 80s beer commercial. You know what I mean? It was like so, and I was like, guys, there are beautiful people everywhere, and there's a way to do that with dignity and respect and like honor, right? There's like, hey, that's a beautiful, attractive person, and you can turn your eyes, you can nod, right? But then it's like gawking, right? And I was like, guys, be better than that. How old's your husband?
Right.
How old is your husband?
How old is he? 60.
60. Ooh, he may be on the other side where, where it's like, not really. Like, yeah, that makes him a creepy old man. So, yeah, I don't know how I can help because he's not on the phone. Do you feel less than?
Yeah, it does.
Tell me about that. And also, this doesn't happen in a vacuum. Is he like spend his time online looking at women? Like, give me the full context here.
I have caught, if you want to call it that, caught him looking at other people online, and I don't believe it's pornography. I was married for 34 years, got out of an abusive relationship, and then remarried, and this is my new marriage. And so part of me is like, well, I'm super sensitive. What is normal? What is too much? I guess I'm trying to draw my boundaries as well.
Yeah. So, I was convicted, and this is within the last couple of years, not convicted, but I was like, yes, that makes sense. Like if like a fireman were to walk in this room, like a one you see on a calendar, like a super attractive, ripped 30-year-old fireman were to walk in here. Kelly's just like, tell me more, right? But like was to walk in here. Even the guys, everybody there should be a feeling of calm and safety and like, oh yeah, in this room. And I'm not talking about in a sexual way, but like in a guy's just awesome, right? That's a natural thing. If a beautiful woman was to walk in this room, everyone's spirit should be lifted up, right? And anyone who denies that is just denying reality. It's that next layer when there's when everyone acknowledges there's an attractive person in the room, and that's awesome, and your spirits are lifted, because beauty is beauty, right? And
Right.
also, there can be an I'd say, like, this is an ugly way to say this, but I'm just cutting to the chase here. There can be a classically unattractive person who is hilarious. They have a great spirit, or they're full of joy, and those people just lift up a room. And so to pretend that that's not real is, I would, if you're challenged by that, then I would suggest, yeah, you've got issues with who you see in the mirror, right?
Right.
If
right.
there is, you're walking down the street and your husband who's 60 is, you're standing right next to him and somebody walks by and he turns his whole head all the way around. He's like, whoa, man, like, that's gross, right? And by the way,
right.
it's disrespectful to you, but it's disrespectful to her. It's that fine line between being lifted up by beauty and then objectifying somebody and taking that next line. And I'm going to, meditate's the wrong word, but I'm going to fantasize. I'm going to connect myself to that person. And I don't know. Yeah, it's both and, right? So I would say, if it makes you uncomfortable, look in the mirror and challenge that discomfort. Do I feel less than anytime somebody beautiful walks in the room? Or if somebody funny walks in the room, or if somebody just bubbly and full of joy and they bring that spirit into a room and that makes you feel less than, then I would want to challenge that. Like, where does that sense come from? Are you still hanging on to stuff from, and I say hanging on, like it's a part of you, right? It's not like you're something wrong with you. But
I mean, because I'm, 57, so it's like, obviously aging and things like that can hit you hard too, but I do try, and take good care of myself and keep up with things,
Yeah, but I mean, there's something about, like, I'm 47, right? A 25-year-old dude walks in a room, I'm like, man, that guy, I don't look like that. I never look like that, but I can tell myself I don't look like that, quote unquote, anymore, right? But it's not a challenge to me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm not. It's like, oh
Yeah.
man, that guy looks awesome, and I'll elbow my wife and be like, look at that guy, and she's like, whoa, you know what I mean? And it's not out of disrespect or out of lust or anything like that. It's just, that's an attractive person. And so, if you're 57 and beginning to want to tamp down any of the attractive people in your life, I would suggest to you, like, man, that's an exhausting way to live. Right.
And I know, because I've been fed the rhetoric that at times through my ex-husband and things that I'm, not good enough. Like, my grandma's more attractive than you was one of the things I was told. So I am dealing with.
That. Yeah, I hate that for you.
Yeah,
man.
with some of those things, but at the same time, I know I'm worthy. It just kind of shakes me when things like that happen.
Yeah.
And I have expressed, and it has gotten better, but at the same time, it still happens.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, is it the fact that there are other attractive people, and it's a signal to you that I'm 57, I'm in the back half of my life, I'm getting older, I've got more, is it the natural part of grieving the aging process? Or
part of it.
Do you have a really disrespectful husband who's kind of gross, but also, like, you've said, hey, this makes me feel uncomfortable, and he's like, yeah, I don't care.
No, it wasn't that he didn't care.
Okay.
It wasn't, because whenever I've addressed it, it's just like, well, if it's right in front of me, I'm gonna see it. And I said, I get that, but you don't have to physically turn your head.
Well, and anybody who says
notice.
There's not a difference is lying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Come on.
Correct.
Like, I can't help it. A, nobody's asking you to not acknowledge somebody's beautiful. And B, don't be gross. So where do you go from here? Do you say something like, hey, I'm not going to walk with you in public because you gross me out? Are you there yet?
Well, I could easily say that. If it happens and feels disrespectful again, like what I have said in the past is, wow, she's beautiful, and he's like, yeah, she is, but then still, the 60-year-old and the 20-year-old or younger girl that is truly beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, gross.
So,
Gross. Yeah.
But, you know,
everyone
and
in the
then,
booth is making like a gross face right now, just so you know. Like, it's not just you and me. They're all like,
yes.
Ugh.
Well, and I can't control what someone does online, you know, and I don't believe it's pornography.
Yeah,
I mean,
but hold on. You can, this isn't a word, but you can pornographize anything.
Well, right.
You can pervert
a bikini
anything.
ad or anything like that.
That's
I mean,
right.
you go on ESPN and you can scroll down and you can find ads for the newest European bikini craze or whatever, and then click the link and you're on an ad. And you can sexualize that in a heartbeat.
That's pornography.
Okay.
That's a sexualization. Right. And so it's well within your let me say it this way. You're not crazy. Because you know him. He's your husband. You know. You know what I mean? You know. And I wish there was another way. There's that old Supreme Court justice who was like, I'll know pornography when I see it. You know when your husband is, there's a look, there's an absorption. You know when he can say, no, it's not pornography. For you right now, it is.
Right. That's correct.
You know that.
Yeah.
And he's being dishonest with you. And my gut tells me that more than him looking at beautiful women online, it is, you're not being honest with me.
In what way?
He's calling you dumb.
Oh, yeah.
He's calling you stupid. Like, yeah. Oh, no. He's pretending that you're too stupid to know that he's a 60-year-old man creeping on 20-year-olds online.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's that sort of disrespect beyond the sexualization. That's sort of like, I'm smarter than you, you're too stupid. That's really painful.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And all of this sounds like it harkens back to some level of how you were treated for 30 years in your other marriage, right?
Yeah. Yes. And so that part of me is like, okay, what part of this do I need? I mean, clearly I need to work on myself always. And I think that'll be a lifelong thing. But
and you've got more bricks in your backpack. So we're all running the same race, but your race is going to be heavier because for 30 years, somebody told you weren't beautiful enough, you weren't attractive enough. It was your fault that fill in the blank X, Y, and Z. You weren't sexual enough. All those things. And so for 30 years, that's encoded in your nervous system. And let's be honest, let's hold both of them. You allowed that to happen for 30 years, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
And so there's both.
And then I woke up.
That's right. But a lot of the angst you're feeling in your guts is you're allowing it to happen again.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so there's something about saying, I'm 56, I'm 57, I'm standing up for the first time. And there's something about, hey, it grosses me out when you gawk at a 20-year-old, 60-year-old man. Stop. Oh, I can't help it. You can help it. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to walk with you in public. If you're going to turn your head and drop your sunglasses and gawk, there is a way to look out of the corner of your eye and smile and be like, wow, she's beautiful, and go on about your day. And beyond that, I'm not going to be in a relationship anymore where somebody tells me that I'm stupid.
Yes. Yeah.
Where somebody makes me feel intellectually or physically less than.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And when I approached him about the online things, I said, I'm not going to do this. And he said, okay, I'll be better. And I said, do you have the integrity to back it up?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be better.
So I've just got to live with it, until I guess, I don't know, until he proves me wrong.
Yeah, but you have to have the courage to take the next step, which is I want you to delete these apps off your phone.
Yeah.
That would make me feel more comfortable.
Well, he's not on social media, so it's totally ESPN ads and things like that.
Okay, again, you're classifying pornography versus something that makes you feel uncomfortable. And again, your discomfort is less in there's somebody beautiful in a bikini and more I can see it on him. It grosses me out.
Yeah, you're right. I have to be more honest with myself about that.
Right. And you are equally as much as him dividing up between what is quote unquote bad and what's quote unquote good. You know what I mean?
Yes.
My buddies,
I don't like any of it.
Right? You don't like it, of course. And you know what? You get to not like any of it. And there's other people listening to this right now. And by the way, don't read the comments on this. People are going to be brutal to me and to you, like who are like, I could care less if my husband's look great. Knock your lights out. You get to do that. But we're talking about you and your experiences in your life, in your level of comfort, and you get to put that on the table. And he's a grown man. He can say, I don't really care what you say. Oh, I'm just going to be better. Well, okay, let's see it. But you giving him a map to what would make you feel comfortable is the honorable thing for you to do for him.
Okay.
And then you have to live in that tension if he's like, I'm not doing that.
Right. And then what's my move if he chooses not to?
That's up to you. I can't make that call for you.
No, I know. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, I feel better about having a little bit more clarity on, the whole situation.
Yeah. But for whatever it's worth, a 60-year-old like gawking at 20-year-old, that's just gross. It just is.
Yeah.
And I hate that. Like, that's just me, man. It's not. I had the same conversation with middle school boys recently. So there you go. You're not crazy, Shirley. You're pretty great. And you're worth that work, and you're worth the directive, hard conversations in your house. Thank you so much for the call. When we come back, a woman wrestles with how to help her daughter see sex and marriage in a positive light. I've got to tell you about Poncho, my favorite line of shirts in the world. If you've seen me on this show, on stages across the country, on social media, I'm almost always wearing Poncho shirts. I wear poncho when I'm fishing in the Gulf, and I was wearing poncho shirts all weekend while I was mowing out on my little mini farm out here in Nashville. Listen, I'm telling you, you should wear poncho too, because poncho makes the absolute best outdoor performance shirts for men in the world, period. I love their denims and their insanely soft flannels, but it's super hot now in the summer, and so I'm wearing Poncho's ultralight shirts too. They're lightweight and they're breathable, yet they're tough enough to handle whatever chaos my day brings, everything from travel to being up to my chest fishing in the surf or doing yard work. These shirts move with you and not against you. They dry fast and they don't cling or bunch up, and they come in slim or regular fits so you don't look like a circus tent. Here's what I want you to do. Head over to ponchooutdoors.com/Delony and check out the selection of my favorite shirts there, like the Laramie and the Buffalo and more. Right now, new Poncho customers get $10 off your first purchase when you sign up with your email. Go to ponchooutdoors.com/Delony to get $10 off. That's ponchooutdoors.com/Delony for the best outdoor performance shirts for men, period. All right, let's go out to Wisconsin, and talk to Beth. What's up, Beth?
Hi there, Dr. John.
What's up?
I'm doing good. All right, so I've got to caveat this with my daughter is the one who actually asked me to talk to you.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
So I think she actually is more excited to hear your answer than I am, but that's, yeah. Anyway,
very cool.
So my question is, so have my husband and I ruined our daughter for life in regards to intimacy and marriage, or can we salvage the mess we made, especially since we have 5 more kids after her?
Okay, I want to stop you right there.
Okay.
The answer to that is yes. Okay? Period.
Mm-hmm.
End of story. And I want you to never use the word salvage again.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You may have done things in a different way. You may have had like boundaries, and you may have talked about stuff in a certain way, and you're seeing it lived out.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's a car wreck. Okay? Nobody is a scrapped heap of metal that you have to try to take a hammer to and ping back into a new shape. Okay?
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah. Yep, that's cool.
All right. So I don't even know what we're talking about here. So go ahead. But yes. The answer is yes.
Okay.
Everybody's redeemable.
All right. Awesome. That's wonderful to hear. Sorry, I didn't realize I was going to react that way.
No, you're okay.
Okay. All right. So the question, I guess, comes from conversations we've had with her recently. She's 16.
Okay.
And my husband and I have been married for 19 years, and we're kind of the sappy, like, never stopped being newlyweds couple.
Awesome. Okay.
And we are very open with talking with our kids about intimacy, about relationships, about, just all of the things that are, the birds and the bees and all of those things. We've never, like, made it taboo in our home. But I grew up in a home that was very taboo.
Okay.
And so, like, part of my concerns come from thinking that I might have overcompensated and been maybe too open. But my husband grew up in a more, I guess, not taboo home, but it was more, he was just kind of left to explore things on his own. So we're stumbling about because this is the first time we've raised kids, and we've got 16-year-old, and it moves down from there. Our youngest is 2, and so we've had conversations with our oldest 3, 11, 14, 16, and my 16-year-old just seems to feel like, well, some of her conversation will come out with, like, I can't stand the thought of being forced to be naked with somebody. And she says things like, can I get married and adopt kids and not share a room with my husband? Things like that. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if this is normal. I don't know, because I didn't grow up with that. We didn't have conversations like this. And I'm trying to not, like, I don't want to take it personally, but there's sometimes when she talks that I feel like she almost thinks that Jake and I, or that my husband and I are gross.
Listen. If a 16-year-old sees their parents dancing and smooching in the kitchen, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait," then I would tell you, y'all should probably go see somebody pretty quick.
Okay.
Right? They're supposed to look at their parents and go, "Oh gosh, gross." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
yeah, I guess, I don't expect her to think we're all cool and everything like that. Some of the things she says makes me worry that she's like, have we instilled a fear in her that we didn't intend to do when we talk to her about intimacy and relationships?
I think it is way too premature.
Okay.
Way, way, way too premature. Because take the flip side. You've listened to this show. I've taken the exact opposite call. Yeah. I have a 16-year-old who's super sexually active. We think we ruined our kid. Right? And so I don't know many parents who look at their 16-year-olds. I have a 15-year-old son. And I don't know any, maybe they exist. I don't know any parents that looks at being at their teenage kids and they're like, I'm crushing this. Right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
And so I, obviously, out of respect for my son, I'm not going to talk about our personal things, but there's philosophical things we discuss. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in the same house I've been living in for 50, right? And here's the thing. I want him to explore the boundaries of some of those feelings and some of those things. And can I just tell you this? The fact that you have a 16-year-old who will open up to you about this stuff means y'all are crushing it. Okay? And some 16-year-olds are super curious about what it would feel like to have somebody's hands on their body. And some 16-year-olds are super curious about what would it feel like to give birth. And some 16-year-olds are like, the thought of somebody's hands on me makes me tense up. And there's not I would just tell you as mom and dad, exhale. Okay? I'm way more worried about a kid absorbing the tension of the interaction than I am about a 16-year-old exploring their 16-year-old thoughts.
Okay. My daughter is absolutely brilliant and amazing and beautiful, and I absolutely love our midnight conversations, even when she comes in after I'm already asleep and she just wants to talk. And I never had that growing up, so it's something that I treasure with her. And so it's just one of those things where it's like, some of the thoughts that she comes up with are just like, they're so opposite to what I thought at her age, and I'm not expecting her to be a carbon copy of me.
No, in fact, here's the thing. been very intentional about her not becoming a carbon copy of you.
Yeah.
And so let's celebrate the fact that she's thinking about things, and more importantly, she is knocking on your door at midnight.
Yeah.
I can't think of a greater gift for a kid than knowing I have some crazy thoughts. It's midnight. I'm going to go talk to my mom.
Yeah.
That's magic. And to your 16-year-old, if you let her listen to this, good for keep going to your mom and dad for some of these crazy conversations.
Yeah.
And you've given your kid, at least your oldest kid, an avenue that is we're a safe place for you to land with all of your bananas thoughts.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I love it. I love it. And so, yes, I don't know a parent that has a kid that comes in and is open with them that they don't go, oh gosh. And most of that is because we don't remember the thoughts that we had when we were 16. We think we do, but we don't really.
I have 13 years of journals, actually. So
Oh, well, okay. So you may actually have them written down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you and I both know that we made some really strong proclamations when we were 16.
Yeah.
And then reality happened to our life. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing you've already had these conversations, but I always want, when a 16, 17, 18-year-old draws really firm, and I would say very specific boundaries, I don't want a man's hand on my body.
Yeah.
The thought of being next to a man makes me physically ill.
Yeah.
I am going to ask different questions.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened before? Has anyone ever made you feel uncomfortable before?
Yep.
And no matter how good our relationships are with our kids, it's without a doubt, other than telling somebody that your kid has passed away, which I've had to do, by far the worst is telling parents, sitting with a child, it's a child, but they're a teenager or a college student, sitting with them, telling their parents, this happened to me, and the parents literally have no idea.
Yeah.
Right? And so if somebody's drawing very specific boundaries, I will have that extra conversation. Yeah. And I will have that. By the way, I've had that with my 9-year-old. I've just been to too many of those meetings, too many of those conversations that I'm going to have those conversations regardless.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, we've actually had that sit down conversation with her at a couple different phases in her life.
Great.
But
amazing.
Recently bringing that up and asking her, has that happened? Do you feel uncomfortable around certain men or even women? You know, are there people who make you feel uncomfortable, and have you been touched inappropriately? Those types of things. So yeah, we have asked those questions.
Can I just tell you, dude,
no.
You're hitting this out of the park.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm failing most days.
You know why? Because you're a parent. Well, no, worse. Men feel like that every second of every day. But there's less of the industrial complex that's against men is just like, y'all just suck. Y'all are just the worst. The industrial guilt complex that is leaned up against women is you can't win. There's no way to win.
Yeah.
If you talk too much, you're going to ruin your kids. If you don't talk, you're going to ruin your kids. By the way, why aren't you working? We worked really hard for you to be able to have a full-time job because your only worth is the money you bring in. Oh, you're just going to let other people raise your kids? Wow. What a terrible, you can't win.
Yeah.
Right? What I don't want you to do, and this is me, this is the pot talking to the kettle here, okay? I don't want our existential angst about our quote-unquote performance as parents. I don't want our kids to ever feel like they have to hold that up because they can't carry that weight.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And so maybe laughingly or cryingly or a mixture of both, tell our kids, every parent feels like they could be doing a better job. And all of that comes from one thing. We just want our kids to grow up and have a great life.
Yeah.
And it's not your job, 16-year-old daughter of mine, to prop that up for me. And you can smile and say, I thought that too when I was 16. And then your dad walked by and, oh, yeah. And she's like, gross, right?
Yeah.
Part of it. Right?
Yeah.
But man, you're checking every box I have for a parent who is trying to be the best parent of a 16-year-old girl heading into womanhood that I can imagine.
Thank you.
That you're giving your daughter a real picture of a woman who loves her husband. You're giving her a real picture of, I like it when he kisses me, so there you go. I like it when he hugs me in the kitchen. And if he's being too gropey, there's a point when it gets too much.
Oh, yeah.
And and there's a point when I like to pull away and go hang out with my girlfriends. And hey, daughter, no matter what you're going through, I'm a safe place for you.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'll speak to your 16-year-old. 16-year-old, if you're hearing this and there are things you haven't told your mom, if she's a safe person, I want you to talk to her about it. And if she's not, your job as a 16-year-old is to find an adult that you trust, that you can have some of these conversations with. Yeah. But Beth, it sounds like you're crushing it.
Thank you.
Pretty awesome. Thank you so much for the call. We come back. A husband struggles to trust his wife after she bought alcohol for their underage son. Okay, let's get cozy. You know that I love adventures and I love being out there in the world, but I'm telling you, by the end of the day, I'm ready to shut it down. And when I do, I want my bed soft and cool and ridiculously comfortable, which is exactly what Cozy Earth and their amazing sheets deliver. Their bamboo sheets are super breathable, they regulate temperature, and they wick away heat and moisture. I sleep cooler with my Cozy Earth sheets, and I love them. And it's not just me. My family's hooked on these sheets, too. And we've also got a Cozy Earth cuddle blanket that we all fight over, and it's so big we can all fit underneath it sometimes. And this thing is ridiculous. It's ultra soft, it's plush, and it's got some weight to it without being too heavy. It's like an anxiety blanket combined with a hug from your grandmother all at the same time. It's amazing. Cozy Earth can help you build a space that's a retreat for your family like they have for me and my wife and my kids. Go to cozyearth.com/Delony and use code Delony for 40% off your entire order. And if you get a post-purchase survey, tell them you heard about Cozy Earth right here on this show. That's cozyearth.com/Delony and use code Delony to save 40% off. Your bed should be more than just a place to sleep. It should be your happy place. Cozy Earth makes that possible. All right, we're back. Hey, take 2 seconds real quick, and subscribe to the show or like the show or do whatever you do on the internets to tell the overlords that you like this show. Share it with a friend. It makes such a difference for the algorithms and for our listeners, and just puts the show in the hands of more people. And it's for free. It doesn't cost you anything. It just takes 2 seconds of your time. Thank you so much for that. Let's go out to Columbia, South Carolina, and talk to Aaron. What's up, Aaron?
Hello, Dr. John. How are you doing today?
Doing great, brother. What's up, man?
So recently, I was going through our 19-year-old's bedroom after I had been looking for something else that I was suspecting was coming to the house, or that he had received and was hiding.
What was that?
ED pills. So that's basically a completely different rabbit hole. But in the process of looking for those, I discovered alcohol that he had hidden in the room. Discovered a few lower beatbox was one, a box of 4 Seagrams, but only one bottle was in the bedroom. One empty bottle at the time was in the bedroom, and a tall boy was in the bedroom as well. Prior to discovering this,
Seagrams and then tall boys.
Yes. There was one tall boy, a Seagrams, and before this, there had been a Seagrams of that same flavor in our refrigerator that had been half consumed. And I asked my wife whose it was, and she said it was hers. And so when I found this about a week and a half later, I was like, that's weird. So confronted my son about it. And he said, yep, it was his, and that his mother had bought it for him, and that he had Venmo'd her $10 for it. And so I brought her into the conversation. I was like, hey, when I asked you whose alcohol this was, you said it was yours. I said, but yet I found this empty bottle here in his closet, and I found the box here in his closet. I said, whose was this? She was like, oh no, I bought it for me. I'm like, but he Venmo'd you $10 for this. She's like, no, it was mine. And so then I asked her, I said, well, how many did you drink? She said, one. And then he was like, no, I drank like 3 of them. So I'm having a really difficult time getting past this.
Yeah, you should. Has your wife come clean?
No, it's still the last conversation we had about it was that conversation, and it was hers. And this is the culmination of about 18 years of.
I was going to say, this doesn't happen in a vacuum.
Similar.
She's been doing this your whole life, huh?
Yes.
Man, I'm sorry.
And so it's one of those things that I just don't know how to continue to move forward, and other stresses within our relationship as well. So,
well, yeah. I mean, this is just like forget buying alcohol for underage people. I mean, it's just staring you down and lying to your face. And more importantly, lying to your face in front of your son. So he's getting a ringside seat to what integrity is supposed to look like.
Right.
So did she dump all this on him? Like, no, he just got it and brought it into the house?
No, she didn't even try to do anything like that.
I know, but that's the sub message here, right?
Yes.
No, actually, our son is a liar.
Right.
My God, dude. Who does that to their child?
I don't know.
Bro, I'm sorry, man. Tell me other ways she's been dishonest with you.
For many years, pretty much since year one, always wanting a divorce. If anything doesn't go her way, I'm the worst person in the world. Has accused me of having affairs whenever I worked late. I work in an industry that over the years has required 50, 60 hours a week, if not more sometimes. And would constantly hear, oh, you're having an affair, I have no time to have an affair, much less keep you happy at the same time.
How many affairs has she had?
None to my knowledge.
Almost always the pervasive accusation comes from the knowledge that they're not being on the up and up on their side.
Gotcha.
That's not 100% true, but that's one of the first places I always go to look. When somebody's accusing, like, you're taking money, I always want to know, like, where are you spending your money?
Right.
Because it's a way to try and somehow intellectually, it's a psychological truism, but I need to balance this existentially because I know we're out of balance, and that's how I can do it.
I think a lot of those accusations were her family members putting that in her ear. I don't know that it was necessarily things she may have been doing.
Okay, can I challenge you on something?
Completely wrong. Sure.
How long have you been making excuses for her?
For the vast majority of our marriage.
That's right. And so that's, this is me just loving you the best I can, man. That's your choice moving forward.
Sure.
Is I'm going to ask my 19-year-old to move out because it's not a safe place. Forget the fact she bought him some wine coolers, for crying out loud. It's not a safe place because he's in the home of somebody who is a pathological liar and who is willing to throw him under the bus. Right?
Right.
It's the reason I would tell my son if he was 19, hey, don't be alone with X, Y, and Z person, not because I think you're going to do something, but because you're going to be indefensible if they do something.
Right.
And it's you protecting your son. It's time for you to move out. You're 19. It's time for you to go get your own place, get a job, and get going.
Yeah.
And because this house isn't safe for you, because your mom will throw you under the bus here.
Right. And that's the point we're trying to get him to is to get him to get his GED done, to start in a career of some sort. He is working.
I know, but why in the world would he do that? He's got it made.
Right. He's got a safety net of his mom and I.
Right. He's got your money and her cover.
Right.
I mean, he's not going to suddenly just develop integrity. Like, that's got to be earned under the squat rack of life, and that only comes from the weight of responsibility.
Yeah.
But that's not what you called. I mean, you can either, for the first time in 18 years or longer, say, I'm not going to make excuses for you anymore. Or you can continue to say, this is my life, and I'm going to keep the peace here, and we're just going to let him move out, and we're going to go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, brother, I'm brokenhearted for you, man.
Yeah, because that's the reality I feel like I'm coming to is.
It is.
Do I take the next step and say, okay, this has been 18 years, and it's time for me to move on, and then I am possibly able to give our other kids the ability to say, hey, I'm stepping away, and y'all can have a safe place here at my place, or.
I think the place to start. I think the place to start is only with I statements.
Mm-hmm.
I have made excuses, and honestly, I have been equally dishonest for 18 years, just on the other side of the coin. I have permitted myself to be in a relationship with somebody that accuses me, that threatens me, that lies about me, lies to me, lies about my kids. And on and on and on. And my guess is you're holding a firm line of dignity, because if you were probably to unload all of it on me on this call, it'd be a lot, wouldn't it?
I could take up an entire hour, if not more.
I know you could. I know. And that's to say I'm heartbroken for you. But I want you, as you decide what to do next, I don't want it to be in response to, you've been doing these things to me for 18 years. And that's the easy path,
mm-hmm.
But that's always you running from something, not towards something. I want you to run to a life of lived integrity, meaning I am going to look in the mirror and I am going to say, I have dishonestly covered for you for 18 years, and that ends today.
Right.
And then through that new lens, that new pair of glasses you're going to put on, which is, I'm not lying for you. I'm not making up excuses for you. I'm not allowing my home to be filled with deception. I'm putting my foot down there. Then you get to decide what is next, because that's you going towards something.
Correct.
And there is no easy path forward, because she will try to crucify you, right?
Right.
You'll be the bad guy. You'll be the guy that walked out on our family. Your dad's horrible, and all that stuff. And probably you've been dealing with that for a long time anyway, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And it will be very hard to stay. And so it's just about choose your hard. And in 5 years from now, what does peace look like, and how do we get there?
Mm-hmm.
How many kids do you have?
3.
How old are they?
My stepson's 19. Our daughter's 18, and our youngest son is 15.
Okay. So you're right in the middle of it. But you're watching a lifetime of this interaction. This is when you start to see it crystallize, right? Materialize into, oh, they're becoming adults, and I'm seeing this stuff replay itself, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The shield I thought I could provide is not as big as I hoped it would have been.
Yeah, because it's in the air, right? It's the air people breathe, and it's in a home, or it's the water everybody drinks. It's just there, right?
Right.
The tension and the deception and all that. If you choose to leave, you're making a choice. And actually, I'm not even going to say that. From this point forward, I want you to shift your thinking to 10 years from now. who is my 19-year-old stepson going to be when he's 29? Because you're going to face an onslaught of mom if you draw the line. Who is my 15-year-old daughter going to be at 25? Right, or son, I forgot who's who, but like you instantly go into a 10-year game, and you're going to live your life with such dignity and respect and such full integrity that they will get the sense over time, oh, my dad wasn't nuts. But there will also come a moment when they're going to look at you and say, why didn't you protect us? And it's just knowing that day's coming.
Right.
And I would start with my 19-year-old now. I refuse to let your mother throw you under the bus in our house. I'm sorry. She should not do that. But she's calling you a liar, and I don't want to have that.
Yeah.
Did he show you the Venmo receipt?
He did not.
Okay.
I didn't ask for it.
Okay. I would. I'd want to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because maybe he's learned from mom's deception over the years. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate to myself, but maybe he got busted.
Right.
And he's like, no, mom bought it for me. And she's like, what are you talking about? No, I didn't. Sounds like your gut knows that to be true, but I'd want to see the receipt.
Yeah. Back last year, we had a big blowout between she and I, and she'd asked me to leave. And after that took place, he texted me and said, hey, you might want to check the bank account. And she had taken every dime out of the account. And when we had bills coming up to be paid. So.
Yeah, you got a mess, man. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And for whatever it's worth, this may be small potatoes here, but you've developed a relationship with this 19-year-old that he's willing to. There's a sense in a 19-year-old that of loyalty. It's a real important thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he overrode his sense of loyalty to his birth mom to tell you, hey, she's not being on the up and up. And that tells me you've done a lot to create some sort of relationship with him, which is great.
Yeah. I think I've been about the only stable person in his life.
Yeah.
Since I was been in his life since he was 9 months old.
That's awesome. Well, kudos to you, brother.
Thank you.
And I'm never going to beat somebody up retroactively for trying to keep a family together.
Right.
That's hard, man. And you've probably got windburn and scars all over your body for trying to keep that thing together, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So kudos to you, man.
Thank you.
However I can help moving forward, brother, I don't have a great answer for you other than whatever path you choose is going to be a challenging one. And I just, my ask of you is don't sacrifice the long-term peace in your life and in those kids' lives for short-term peace, right? For the illusion of peace, for a short-term arms agreement, right? And protect yourself as you move forward.
Absolutely.
Right. Man, blessings, brother. Call anytime if I can help. I'm kind of heartbroken. I mean, I am. Just going to sit here and mourn it with you. And whew, yeah, that's all I'll say. Blessings moving forward, man. Call me anytime. We'll be right back. All right, it's time for a quick word about Delete Me. Listen, do you feel like your digital footprint is starting to feel like a digital trail leading bad guys and scammers right back to you, to your phone, to your car, to your house? And now scammers are using phishing attacks, that's phishing with a PH, where they try to trick you into giving them something by pretending to know you and to want to help you out. You might get an email or a text or a phone call, and the person or the AI bot on the other end sounds like someone who's trying to help you out or look out for you, and they're not. They're trying to get all your information. With all of these new technological advancements, and by the way, every minute of every day, there's some new technological advancement coming out that's supposed to save us or take our lives from us. No one is really safe. What are we supposed to do with all of this transition happening all at the same time? First, you can control what you can. You can learn about how to be careful online and offline, and you can sign up with Delete Me. I use and personally recommend Delete Me because they work in the background to reduce my online presence and get my information out of the hands of creepy data brokers. I don't want people that I don't know having my personal information and trying to sell it to everybody. Delete Me has reviewed over tens of thousands of sites for me, and they've removed my data from hundreds of them, which has saved me countless hours and a ton of stress. Stop the phishing attacks and the harassment and the other online threats before they start, and take control of your digital privacy with Delete Me. Go to joindeleteme.com/Delony today for 20% off the annual plan. That comes out to less than $9 a month. That's joindeleteme.com/Delony. Go check them out. Hey, we're back. I'm going to take a quick minute. So this show, we record it a month out, 3 or 4 weeks out. Right now, I've got family, I've got friends who are just sorting through this flooding disaster that's happened in my home state of Texas. And if some of y'all, the news cycle moves so fast and May has already blown by all this stuff, but I've just been glued to the news and to my phone and to my friends as they've been undergoing rescue efforts and trying to find those little girls that ultimately they weren't able to find, and hearing the stories of heroism that's popped up all over the place. And even to, I've got family members that are right now, their house is completely gutted and they're trying to figure out what's up and what's down. It's just been a nightmare. I just got to say this. My wife was in the car on the way home to go to one of our family members and just help them begin. I mean, it's everything from laying out photo albums to they got to pull every piece of sheetrock out of everything, and every appliance is gone, and maybe the house will make it, maybe it won't, all that stuff. And she was driving, and the first stop out of Nashville is 3 hours away. She stopped in Memphis to get some gas and get some coffee. And the guy's like, "Where are you headed?" And she said, "I'm headed to Texas." And he said, "Oh my, do you have family there?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm going to see my family." And the guy said, You're not paying for this coffee." And he said, "Thank you for going down there to help them out and anything I can do." But he gave my wife free coffee, and she said she just started crying at the register and said, "Thank you." And then out of nowhere, a friend Venmo'd some money, and then people from church showed up with a refrigerator they could plug in down in the shop down back that only got 8 inches of water instead of a foot or whatever. And then these stories come in. My buddy's wife and daughter were stuck in a lake house on top of a hill, and they medevaced out the elderly mother. But there has just been story after story of kind, amazing, good people all over the country sending money, putting their life on the line, giving free coffee, cutting somebody a deal. My wife just texted and said, "Hey, if you can say publicly, the guy who showed up with the throwaway bin just waived the fee for my family members and let him throw out like a couple of tons worth of appliances and furniture. Our stuff's just trashed." Here's the thing. Our media outlets are just full of politics and hate and anger and rage and blame. It took about 2 seconds for this thing to get political. Let me just tell you, there are so many freaking good people out there who are giving away coffee, who are showing up with hammers, who are stopping work and taking off, who are opening up their checking accounts, whatever they can do. Can I just tell you, there's kind, wonderful people every freaking corner of this place, of this country we live in, of neighborhoods that you live in. They are everywhere. And so here's my challenge. Turn off the negativity and the madness and just know they're good people, and go be that good person. Just get online and find someplace where you can send $15, help out the person across the street, show up with a casserole, just Venmo a buddy some money and say, "Hey, I was just thinking about you today and I love you. Here's some coffee." Go get some coffee. Go be that kind person out in the world. I'm telling you, because I'm watching it play out in real time in my family's life, in my friend's life, in my old community's life. There are great, wonderful people freaking everywhere. We've been sold a bill of goods that everyone is bad, and they're not. They're not. So thank you all for everyone who's shown up, who have prayed for all these families, who are going to sit with people for years after this madness and this grief and horror. And thank you for everybody who is just deciding, I'm going to turn the news off and I'm going to show up in my neighborhoods and my communities and I'm going to be that kind, helping person. As the great Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers once said, look for the helpers. And if you're looking around and there's no helpers, then go be the helper. I love you guys. And I'm proud to be a part of communities that show up for each other. I love you guys. Y'all have a good one. Bye.